Good evening. First blood to Luna Rossa. Congratulations to Luna Rossa, which extended her lead around the course nearly at every mark for the two courses. The results, official results, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli by 1 minute 51 seconds in the first race and 26 seconds in the second race. So let me ask a general question to Sir Ben first. The Italians sailed very smoothly today. They seem to be very comfortable. They sailed much more than you did over the last few weeks. Did you sail enough over the last 3 weeks since round robins?
Yeah, I think we did. I mean, we clearly wanted to make some changes to our boat to try and get more performance. And that's that trade-off between time in the shed and time on the water, and that's a balance we're always trying to strive for to get right. Certainly, the Italians sailed really well today, both races. First race, I think it was a case of one boat could get out of the water and one couldn't. But the second race was a really close race, and they just got it slightly better than we did. So, credit to them. But, we just got to keep pushing. Nothing's really changed for us. We've got to win 7 more races. We've got to try and get the boat going faster. And we've got to sail better.
But the first race, back to the first race, was the race over before they crossed the line? They started the line?
Pretty much, quite a steady in direction breeze. Obviously, the breeze was building as we went through the race. But yeah, I mean, as you could see, one boat could take off and get going, one couldn't. And by the time we got up and going, we were half a leg behind. And against a team as good as Luna Rossa in a steady direction, you're not going to come back from that.
Kiko, well done. You didn't fall from your foils before the start, but it seemed that you were close to that, no?
Yeah, we also had a moment where we were like, it's very close, very close. And, could have gone the other way very easily. It was a moment of a big lull, and I think Ben jibed just before it, and we jibed after. And, we were also very close to lose it. It was a tense moment because we knew that they were down, and we knew that it was going to be hard for them to recover and to start on time. So I'm glad that we did a good job on keeping it up and start on time. And obviously the race was a little easier after that.
We could hear Jimmy at the finish. Never in doubt, mates. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think today we sailed well, but we also did a couple of mistakes, and we have to keep focusing on the next racing. It's only 2 points. It's a long series. It's the longest series so far, and we have to think race by race, day by day. The performance of the boats, if you take away the first race that was clearly won at the start, the performance of the boats were very close on the second race, and I think we're going to see a lot of close racing. So we have to don't give anything for granted and think about the next race.
So Ben, you were in control at the start of the second race, but it seemed that Luna Rossa still have an edge, can sail a little higher than you do. Do you agree?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at the race. I haven't had a chance yet. It was a pretty even start. I think we were trying to force them off. We quite liked the left-hand side of the course. But, they did a good job of hanging in there. And I think the next time we came together, it was a small duck for us. We didn't have a particularly good duck. And the next cross coming up to the windward marks was pretty critical, and they got the cross and sailed a great race from there on in. So, yeah, the performance, and I think we need to look at that a bit closer. It's a bit early after the race to give you a strong answer on that.
Yes, it was very impressive because on television, the data, it seemed that the boats are extremely similar in speed. So what makes the difference? Ben.
Oh, they sailed better, Certainly the second race, they sailed just that little bit better. It's pretty close. Pretty steady breeze, not many passing lanes. And when you've got an pretty even boat race like that, the other team's got to make a mistake, and they didn't make any mistakes.
Kiko, you sailed a lot over the last week, 2 weeks. It seemed that extra time on the water, extra races were good to you.
Yeah, I think Ben is right saying that it's a very hard balance to, modify the boats and hope for a little extra edge in speed or spend the time in the water and try to, improve what you already have. We also did some small modification to the whole package, but I assume Ben did more than us. But obviously, the time in the water was key for us, and we feel like we are in good shape. We can sail good races, but tomorrow can be a very different story. So we have to just focus and think about the next race.
Seems that the wind will be stronger tomorrow from the east, so it will be a different day. Questions, please? Yes, Matt?
Ben, in the second race today, your jib size was a little bit smaller than the Luna Rossa jib, and with that wind building, was that a factor? Do you think maybe? Do you think you maybe could have had a different jib on?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think we were maybe slightly a bit bigger than the Italians.
Sorry, yeah.
And it was a tricky one. It'd be interesting to get Francesco's view. The breeze was building. I think both teams knew the breeze was building, but just how quickly it come down onto the race course. In the end, we went for the jib we thought was the right jib at the time. And with the benefit of hindsight, it would have been better on a slightly smaller headsail. But yeah, it's the decisions you make, and you got to stick with it.
Next.
Just your view on the jib.
I totally agree. We also were not sure if to hoist a jib the size that they were about to hoist, and when we made the decision was not super clear. We just thought that the breeze was going to build quicker, and we went for the smaller jib. But when we were hoisting the sail, we didn't know who was going to be right or wrong.
Next. Yes, Live, Sail, Die, the new journalist. Alison.
Yep, Alison with Live, Sail, Die. Francesco, this morning Shannon mentioned some system changes. What of those changes helped you with your boat speed today?
Yeah, everything helps. Everything helps. The boat, I'm very happy because the boat is not only faster compared to before, but we didn't have any issue before the start, so we could really concentrate on the race as a sailing team. It's always hard when you have small issues here and there, and you kind of have to, chase the problems. But I'm very happy with the short team and all the guys that have been working very hard in this last week, because I mean we sailed a lot, but the boat needed a lot of maintenance as well. So it was really a race against the clock to give us a package that was reliable and fast. And I think today we had a very good package.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, Richard Gladwell for Ben. When you guys last raced, we had something like 9 lead changes in a southwesterly on course C, go out onto course A, and when you look down the deltas, they're all very similar. There's no real change there. Looked like it was the first boat into the right, basically got it. Do you think they should be racing out there or back and on course C, which is going to be a lot more exciting?
Oh, it's course C, definitely. No question. Sort of the fans want to see more lead changes, right?
Duncan here, please.
Duncan Johnson from Stuff. Francesco, what was the message from Max when he caught up with you after race 2? He'd be pretty happy, no doubt?
Yeah, Max was on the phone with Mr. Bertelli, and it was all a lot of smiles. But again, we have to think that it's only 2 points, and it's still a very long series. So I keep repeating to the whole team the same message. It's a long series. Just stay focused. Don't waste time on celebrating.
Just on the question of the courses, have you got any indication tomorrow that course E might come into play?
Yes, E. Will be confirmed tomorrow at 10, but for the moment,
At the
it's
moment,
E.
they're thinking E, I think, because of the waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you thought you've had a lot of training and practice races out there. What does that provide?
It's just a little bit further away, but no, it's probably a little bit more shifty because we have Waikiki and other islands, making the wind a little bit more tricky. Today was definitely a steady pressure. The shifts were like 10 degrees left and right, no more than that. We have on eco course, I think we have seen a lot more than that. So it's probably a lot more heads up and making sure you are on the lifted tack.
Peter Montgomery.
Thank you. Ben, a question for you. The start, race 2. Did you and Giles work out that you wanted the left regardless and to lead back in? Because you were in a position that you could have made a manoeuvre to be out to the right and be in control that way rather than leading back in. And were you surprised that Luna Rossa were able to sit on your hip for so long?
Yeah, we felt that the breeze was building more from the left-hand side of the course, that there was more pressure generally on the left-hand side of the course. So we wanted the left side and a tight leeward start. That's what we got. They did a good job hanging in there. Critically, we got them off before the boundary, which is, as everyone's, I'm sure, seen, it's if you get into the boundary and you've got a guy on your hip, it can be tough. But yeah, I think it was pretty even side for side. A few very small shifts, very small differences in pressure. It was really a boat speed race and a boat handling race.
Thank you.
Couple more. Yes, again, live, let die. Alison.
Sir Ben, when you start that first race, you're half a leg behind. It's pretty gutting. What do you focus on gaining out of that race? Is it maneuvers, keeping your crew up, sailing clean?
Well, first of all, you can never give up, and you're just never sure what might happen with these boats. Someone might have a mechanical issue, or make a mistake in a manoeuvre, and you can gain 300-400 meters in an instant. So you've got to keep going. I think for us, certainly being well documented, lighter airs is not our preferred condition. So whatever we can do to try and learn, evaluate our performance against Luna Rossa, who have been, I think, probably the standout team in the lighter airs. That's a good opportunity for us. So that's really how you got to place it in your mindset with your team. Keep going.
Next. Yes, Michael Burgess, Harold.
Thanks. Question for Francesco. Francesco, what was the feeling in the team this morning? What was the message going from you and Max and Jimmy? Because you hadn't beaten these guys so far, even though they'd been close races. So how was the feeling this morning?
I think the feeling was good. We felt very prepared. A lot of training in the water, which gave us some confidence. And the boat was going faster and faster day by day in the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, the feeling was good. But, I mean, we knew that we were against a very strong competitor. And it was just all... This morning, we only passed the time thinking about the race and not wasting time overthinking about our mood. Just focus on your job and do it well. That's what I keep repeating myself at least.
More? One more? Yes, sir.
I've been at 2-0 down after day one. It's not the end of the story by any means, but where do you feel you can get the improvements? And if the winds don't blow heavy, can you make up this difference?
I think both teams know that they've got to sail better, across the board. Certainly in the lighter airs, we've got more of a jump to make to catch up with these guys. And that's been the case really for the last 6 weeks since we started racing with the World Series. I think we've improved a lot in the lighter airs. Still, we haven't quite improved it enough. So we've got a lot of focus in that area. But when we get up, you know, medium wins, then I think it's a really close race. And I think it will come down to which team sails the best. And I think that's absolutely how it should be. I think it's where we want to be as sailors. It's great to be up against tough competition. We're not happy to be 2-0 down, but we're going to keep fighting hard. We're going to come out and race harder and push harder and try and get those races back.
Can we switch to Zoom? Zoom? Ready?
Yes, we are ready. First one is Michele Tognozzi, Fare Vela.
Hi guys, thanks for the show. I have a couple of questions, one for Francesco and the other for Sir Ben. Francesco, well done. You looks like Luna Rossa sailing every day better and better, faster, smarter than the day before. How can you explain this as a team? What is your approach to this self-confidence improvement and every day you are better? And for Ben Aisley, Ben, you are one of the best in the sport, if not the best. And I am sure that you know that speed is the key point in the America's Cup. All about speed. Can you think that today Luna Rossa has an edge on speed on Britannia?
So Keiko first.
Yeah, I mean, there is not a special ingredient for getting better. It's a lot of work, the help of the whole team, and the boat is, time in the water and a lot of work on the shore. But there is not one that is more important than the other one. They're all important, and you have to make a good balance of all of them.
So Ben?
Yeah, look, I think they're two very even teams, over 10 knots of wind. I think you put either sailing team in either boat and they could win. But in the lighter airs, Luna Rossa has an edge on speed than us. That's been the case since we started sailing here. I think we're getting slightly closer, but we're not as close as we need to be. So we've got to keep pushing hard to find that extra speed in the lighter airs.
Thank you, Sir Ben. Next.
Second question, Craig Lewick, Scuttlebutt.
Hi, gentlemen. I commend both of you for being supreme sportsmen and coming out for the press conference and addressing all these questions. Prior to the race today, you both were speaking to the advantages of your position. One had extra preparation time, one had extra racing time. So to Ben, did you feel today unsharp and wishing that maybe a couple races would have helped you during the course of today's racing?
No, I don't think so. We prepared hard for this series. Our pre-match racing training was really intense in terms of the practice racing that we were doing. Yeah, the first race really came down to not being able to take off and the performance in the lighter airs, and the second race was a really close race. I mean, it's a pretty even start. There wasn't a huge amount in it, so I thought we sailed a pretty good race. Luna Rossa sailed a slightly better race. I don't think it was a case that we weren't ready for the race. We were ready for it. The guys fought hard, but today we came up short. Tomorrow we won't.
Okay, next, please.
Okay. Mark Reid, Bay and Delta.
This question is for Sir Ben. When you're off your foils, what are you trying to do? What can you do to get your boat to pop up? Specifically in the first race, what are you looking around for?
Yeah. I was thinking you were saying something really silly then, but I don't think that's fair. No, the wind. Yeah, as Keiko says, we need obviously the breeze, the power in the sails to accelerate, and you reach a certain speed, and then you can start ramping up the foils and get the boat out of the water. So that's the key, really. And you know, there's a lot to do with the technique and the differences in the hull shapes of the boats and so on. So it's still a lot of learning, I think, for all of the teams in that area of takeoff and light air maneuvering.
One more?
No more questions.
No more. Okay,
We are
thank you
okay.
very much. So racing tomorrow with more breeze, and we expect a great day. Thank you very much.